every issue has a solution.
Yeah.
It's whether or not you are the person that wants to come in and deal with that solution.
Exactly.
Because there's somebody behind you
that will. As a landlord, you're
the plumber too.
Yeah.
Electrician.
No joke. You're wearing so many hats as a landlord. First of all, you're a marketer. You have to market your place and find a tenant.
Yeah.
Then you're a maintenance person. You're a therapist. Don't forget about that part. A lot of people want to just tell you their life story a lot of time, you know? So it's a lot of different hats as a landlord. Definitely.
Yeah.
But it's all definitely worth it.
So what's up, everybody? We're here today again with the Road Home podcast. Today we have Matthew Aletta from Compass Group.
Yeah, Vanderbilt team.
Question.
Yeah, there you go. Well, Matt and I changed companies at around a very similar time. So
yeah, it's actually a very interesting journey. Seeing what you did and seeing what I did, and I think our journeys from the past and now are kind of intersecting again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is awesome.
We're also here today with my co-host James Kodomo. Everybody loves James.
I wish.
There you go. So the whole concept of the podcast is the road home. So what was your path into real estate? Where did you grow up? What's your educational background? And what got you into real estate?
Yeah, just like sales, I had a previous sales job that I was in an office for. I stumbled into it by accident.
What were you selling?
Loans, money. Expensive money.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I was doing SBA loans. I was doing term loans, cash advances.
There you
I was
go.
having people...
Hard money.
Hard money.
Yeah,
hard money for
hard
business
money
owners.
stuff, yeah.
Exactly. I did that for a long time, so I figured if I could sell money where you're borrowing $100,000, paying back $175,000, you know, I could probably sell a house. You know, why not? My real estate agent at the time guided me. We bought a house. Funny story though, I was 3/4 of the way through the process, getting ready to close, and I was like, this is not the house for me. I said, it's a little too far from work, don't really want to commute. I was in Selden. Okay. My job was in Bohemia, so you're talking about a maybe 20 to 25 minute commute, and I was like, nah.
I don't want it.
Not for me. Too far, because I was like literally 10 minutes away.
Quick question: was it National Business Capital?
It was National.
Wow, that's so funny.
There you go.
Long story short, I was supposed to work there, and then I got an offer from the Handsome Home Buyer, and I was like, nope, sorry, Joe. And I went to work for Charles instead.
Yeah. Joe
Camberado, right?
Joe Camberado. Grow by Joe. He does fantastic content as well.
That's funny. He's actually going to be on Victor's podcast probably like in a week or two.
Our content is better. I just want to let everyone know. There we go.
Yeah. So halfway through, 3/4 of the way through the process, I'm like, nah, put the brakes on this. Don't want this house.
Were you under contract already?
I was on the contract. We were at the point where I was losing my...
I put down
$10,000.
Oh, wow.
I put down $10,000. I was like, screw it. I'm ready to go. And my agent was like, what do you mean you're ready to back out of the house? You know you're going to lose $10,000, right? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. I have a job. I'll just make the $10,000 back. She's like, are you fucking crazy? Like, what are you doing? You're going to walk away from $10,000. She's like, just turn it into a rental. Buy yourself some time. Sell the house. Put it back on the market. Like, do anything but walk away from the house.
Yeah.
So... I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what, you're right. Fuck it. I'll become a landlord. Didn't think anything twice about it. Didn't know a thing about being a landlord at the time, but said, screw it, I'll just jump into the game. Best decision I ever made. Hands down. From there, she's like, go get your license. Got my license. Now we're in 2017.
Are you still a landlord?
Yeah. I'm still a landlord.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'm a landlord. I've run an Airbnb. Customer service really is what I'm learning is what it comes down to. Whether it's Airbnb.
Property management?
Property management. Yeah, that customer service key is very key.
How many houses do you have now?
I have 2 houses right now. I'm going to be working on 3 this year. I'm going to get another one in the portfolio.
Let's go.
But just talking to your people, if they have an issue, hear them out. You know, just because they're renting from you doesn't mean they're like bottom of the barrel people or something. There's an issue with the house. There's an issue with their life. Just listen to them.
Yeah,
Be a human being. 99% of the time, things get fixed. Things work out. You just got to kind of take a step back. Exactly. Take a deep breath. You know, you're a human being. I'm a human being. We have bad days. We have things pop up in life.
Especially when there's like email or text, that might be a different tone.
Yeah.
Some people have
when you talk to someone, it's way better.
Bad decades even.
Yeah, that's very true. And some people just can't get out of their way. But if you're just there, you listen to them, you know, you can take care of the problem. But again, that comes down to being an entrepreneur, being a landlord, that customer service. It's all important. It's not just, hey, cash flow in my pocket, baby.
Right.
You know, I'm going to the beach, I'm going on vacation.
Right.
Like, whatever happens, happens.
No, that's not sustainable.
No, it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
Your houses end up breaking down. Your investments go out the window. You end up poor.
Exactly. People take advantage of you.
Yeah.
You have people
yeah.
that work for you that help you manage? Or
Nope,
just
I'm
all you-
self-managed. Yeah,
Well,
self-managing
there you go.
right now. Yeah, I'm definitely learning. My big goal is to go out of state. So I'm learning to connect with some property managers, learn the good from the bad.
Any state
you know.
specifically you're looking at?
Ohio. Ohio is definitely top of mind. Cleveland area, Columbus, Ohio. There's definitely some population growth going on over there, I've heard.
Yeah, definitely.
So I have my eye in that area.
We just helped a client buy a 4-unit in Ohio.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
We did.
That's,
And he's totally going to live there.
oh, he is. Has a
Yeah.
house hacker.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
That's another path that I did as well. I house hacked my last house.
It's one of the most crucial tools that you can use to get into real estate and to start being a landlord.
Be a landlord, get into real estate, generational wealth, tax advantages. There's
Oh,
so
it's
many
everything.
advantages
Yeah.
Absolutely.
of doing it.
Yeah.
It also allows you, for me at least, it allows you to quit something that you're unhappy with. I was working in a cubicle. I worked in a cubicle for 8 years, and
Sales job?
sales job. And every single time I left, my brain just felt like mush. I'm like, okay, it could be 7 o'clock at night, and like people are ready to go out, go grab a drink, go grab a bite to eat. I'm like, I'm ready to go to bed. I am mentally fried. Like it takes a lot out of you. And I did it for 8 years, and I would say probably by year 5 or 6 is when I was like, all right, I need to start thinking about my way out.
Yeah.
I said I can't do this long term anymore.
Yeah.
So I started making plans. I started finding financial independence people. I was listening to a lot of Bigger Pockets podcasts. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with them. But they started putting me on the path of like house hacking, financial independence. So I bought a house, had a basement apartment in it, moved into basement apartment,
But people
got
don't-
laid off because it was during COVID.
Oof.
Closed on the house, got laid off a few weeks later. But because I bought the house with the extra unit in it, I moved in downstairs and I've got renters upstairs. So
Yeah.
during COVID, when I was laid off,
So you rented out the bigger unit.
I rented out the 4 bedrooms upstairs, and it
Yeah.
covered the mortgage and utilities while I was laid off.
That's great.
So really, I got lucky with that.
Yeah.
But if I didn't get laid off and I still had my day job income coming in, and I had that income coming in, talk about money being saved, money going towards the next house.
Yeah.
That's how you get ahead. You have to
Exactly.
take that step back. Yeah, it sucks living with tenants. It was not fun hearing the feet upstairs all the time and the fighting, when the tenants would get into an argument, thin walls suck.
It's a
But
temporary thing, though.
Exactly.
You know,
Temporary thing for long-term
You build that
benefits.
initial nest egg, and then you parlay your income into another property.
Yep.
That's a single unit, just a single family home for
Exactly.
yourself.
Exactly.
And now you're building equity on 2 properties. The initial property you're not putting anything into at this point.
Yeah.
You know,
You're right.
You're renting out both units, like.
Can I tell you something else that's also good about making your first house a house hack? You guys are mortgage people. 3% down, baby.
Exactly, first time home buyer.
3%
First-time
down.
home buyer.
No 20% down. You can get up to a 4 unit with 3% down.
As long as you live
Exactly.
in it.
Right.
As long as you live
Right.
in it.
Owner occupied.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely owner
which you do.
occupied. But first time home buyers, they're
Yeah.
going to be owner occupied anyway. So you know what? You put up with living with tenants. You learn how to become a landlord. And at that point, you're still living there, that you can watch your property.
Right.
That gets you into
Yeah, exactly.
checking on your property, taking care of it, the maintenance. You're going to learn how to deal with people. And then if your long-term goal is to invest out of state like it is with me, then you just got to learn how to work with the right property managers for that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would jump in out of state for the first home necessarily.
Oh,
just
yeah.
because I've learned a hell of a lot being hands-on, working with my tenants.
Because you're
working on
there
house.
every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Exactly.
You know what's happening.
You don't want to receive a phone call at 10 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the
Right.
morning, and then all of a sudden you've got to coordinate
5 hours
from
away.
several states away.
Yeah.
How to fix this issue, how to rectify the situation. Like, that's a nightmare.
Yeah, that's a huge nightmare, and you definitely need the right team in place to get that done.
And if you've done it already and you live there, you understand the process and what you need to do
Yeah.
to get things done.
Yeah, and you can kind of, you can make your seasonal checklists.
Yeah.
You can put your systems in place that's like, okay, January 1st, this all has to get done. Go month by month, go season by season, whatever works for you to make sure that you're on top of everything in the house that's getting maintained.
Yeah.
Super important.
Everything from the
You
cesspool
are the
to
maintenance
the
guy. You
gutters
have
to everything.
every hat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
As a landlord,
You're the plumber, too?
Yeah.
Electrician?
No joke, you're wearing so many hats as a
Yeah.
landlord. First of all, you're a marketer. You have to market your place and find a
Right.
tenant.
Yeah.
Then you're a maintenance person. you're a therapist. Don't forget about that part. A lot of people want to just tell you their life story a lot of time, you know? So it's a lot of different hats as a landlord, definitely.
Yeah.
But it's all definitely worth it.
Where'd you find your house? Online somewhere, or?
My real estate agent at the time sent it to me.
Got it.
Yeah. I was working with an agent at the time. She knew I was looking for like a starter home. Because originally it was for me. It was my
Just
first
gonna be you?
home. Yeah, it was just gonna be for me. It was like a bachelor pad kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I looked at a few and found the one. It was perfect. It was a flip house, so everything was brand new. I didn't need to come in and do anything to it.
Oh, really? It's a
Yeah, every
Especially
top of the nines, everything brand new. Roof, siding, windows,
Beautiful.
all brand new. I found out 2 months after I bought it from a neighbor. They're like, "Oh, thank you for buying the house. It's been sitting here for 10 years. It was
Wow.
part of like the '08 foreclosures.
Oh my
Someone
God.
got foreclosed on, and it was sitting vacant for 10 years. So it made the neighborhood look like crap.
Yeah, of
So the
course.
neighbors were like,
the
"Oh,
house just started
finally."
to deteriorate.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Some investor came along, flipped the house,
Yep.
and you purchased it from the investor. Yeah.
Yep. And then I turned it into a rental, and they were a little worried at first. They were like, "All right, it's good to have someone in the house. You know, it looks great." They're like, "If you're gonna rent it out, can you just make sure it's like a clean person? Like, we're just trying to make sure the neighborhood stays clean and quiet." I'm like, "Yeah, no problem at all. Like, I get it. Like, I didn't come here to disrupt your neighborhood.
Yeah.
I came to add value to your neighborhood.
You're not
Exactly.
positive.
It's because
Yeah.
because at the time it was your neighborhood as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so they were very happy with my tenant. My tenant was quiet and clean. She stayed there for 5 years. Everything worked out perfectly. I would come and visit, so they knew I was around. I wasn't just a hands-off slumlord that was just collecting rent.
Yeah.
Like, if there was something going on, I was at the house.
Right.
Yeah.
You're dealing with it too.
Yeah.
And 90% of the time when you're house hacking and you're only renting one of the units, it's not covering the entire portion. So
Yeah, depending upon like where you're living.
your tenant doesn't think, "Oh, well, this guy is getting over on me and I'm paying for his mortgage." And you completely remove that aspect from being a landlord.
Yeah, that wall.
How'd you find
Exactly.
your tenant? What did you use?
Either Zillow or Facebook.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I posted it on Zillow. That's where I post a lot of my rentals. You know, even nowadays as an agent, I get more hits off of Zillow and Facebook Messenger
Anything else?
than I do anything else.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy, the numbers. And like, it's on the MLS, and like, I get a call from like 2 or 3 real estate agents that like, I have a client that wants to see your apartment. Cool, go show the apartment. I'm all for it. You know, but most of the time the apartments are getting rented Facebook and Zillow.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's it.
People are tired of dealing with a rental realtor, I guess.
Yeah.
They just want to find it themselves.
Yeah, exactly. There's that, and because of the power of the internet nowadays too, it's like they don't really need someone, especially on Facebook.
Yeah.
You know,
You can see all the pictures. You can see.
Yeah.
Exactly. Description,
Price.
everything.
What
Yeah.
else do you need?
yeah. And Facebook's got the button. Hey, is this available?
Yeah,
You just
exactly.
click the one button,
Just click it.
and there you go.
90%
Yeah, you
of
don't,
the work
you
is
don't even
done.
have to type the words.
No.
Is this available?
Yeah.
You're right.
I noticed that they changed up their template recently because like my reply back used to be click yes, it's available. Now it's like, yes, are you still interested? It's
Yeah,
like, wait a
'cause-
second, it makes no sense though because you literally just said, is this available? Yes, are you still interested?
Obviously, you are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously you are. So like,
Not necessarily. You see all these memes where, like, the guy asks and then he's like, "No, I'm not interested anymore." It's like 15 minutes later.
True.
You know?
All right, yeah.
all right, you got a point. You got a point.
So they had to add that in there because they're like,
Yeah.
everyone's going in and typing this exact response every time.
right.
So Facebook changed their whole outlook because of meme culture. So you're saying?
No, not because
Probably.
of memes.
I can see
Probably
that.
because they were looking at the metrics of people. Well, not. So we've set up these preset buttons and nobody's using this one.
Yeah, let's try it.
Let's change another one. Yeah, let's add another one. Exactly.
But they didn't add; they just changed. They didn't give me the option.
Exactly. They changed it completely.
I think
them.
it's the people who are in meme culture are now getting older, and they need now they need rentals.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
They're moving on up.
Yeah.
They're moving
Gen Z's
on up.
getting old.
That's funny.
That's true. You are.
I will tell you guys another funny story about my first rental. So because it sat for 10 years, we had some sewer line issues that weren't found on the home inspection report.
Oh.
Typical, you know, I'm a home inspector. I probably wouldn't find these issues either because they're underground and they're in walls.
Right,
So
who's
like,
gonna check all that?
you're not able to see it. So what happened was once we started using the plumbing, first of all, I blew out the water heater. The water heater sat, and 3 days of owning that house, I had a flood in the basement. Water heater went. Then I think it was probably about 6 months into owning the house, we started getting sewage backup.
Oh no.
And what happened was there was a tree line in the front yard that grew into the cesspool line, and we had old cesspool lines that were made of like old shingles. So it grew right through, no problem. Started blocking everything. So they had to rip up all of the front yard, all of the asphalt walkway in the front of the house. So we're talking about major construction 6 months into owning the house.
Yeah.
But guess what now? I have septic tanks in my yard, and I don't have to worry about it ever again. So yeah, it was a shitty problem, no pun intended. But it worked itself out.
A little
and
pun intended,
it's a maintenance thing that I don't really have to worry about now for a long time.
How much did it cost to fix all that up?
Water heater was about $1,500. New septic tanks and lines, I think, was about $6 to $7 grand.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, wasn't fun.
No.
And then trying to grow grass afterward in the middle of summertime in the front yard, that was not fun as well. But you know what?
Didn't work.
No, it didn't. It didn't work at all.
Just so much nitrogen
It was a nightmare.
turned up into your lawn.
Nightmare.
Your neighbors must have loved you digging up everything.
Yeah,
you
right.
go through,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's better
That
than
was
having
fun.
a vacant house there.
Better than shit coming up into the streets.
It's true.
That is true too.
Gross.
Oh man, another thing I learned about this house. Man, this first house I learned so much. I had a tree in the front of the house and the sidewalk, so it was technically town property. And probably about a month into owning the house, I get a letter from my home insurance company. Sorry to inform you, we have to revoke your homeowner's insurance for the trip hazard outside your
my
house
God.
because the whole sidewalk was coming up. So I started calling the town of Brookhaven. I'm like, hey guys, like my homeowner's is revoked, like because of your tree. Like I need you to get this tree out of there. Like, all right, no problem. We'll send someone out. 3 months passes, nobody comes. Make another call.
My God.
We'll send someone out. Another 3 months passes, nobody's out there. I'm sitting there. I have homeowners insurance. You know, I have high rate,
Right.
high risk. You
Yeah,
know,
of
because of what's
course.
going on. So like, I've told them I'm paying out the ass because of you guys. Like we need someone out here. About a year later, they finally have someone come out. They mark the tree for removal, and it takes another 3 to 6 months for someone to come out and take out the tree and fix the sidewalk.
It's over a year and a half.
So about a year and a half of having this high shitty insurance on the house because the town just dragged their feet of taking care of it.
Yeah, of
but once they
course.
did, I got regular insurance again, no problems. They came by, they did their drive-by inspection, saw the issue was fixed, and I got regular rates again. But it was a nightmare dealing with that.
So what did they do? Just remove the tree, or did they repair the?
They had to rip
sidewalk
up
as
the whole
well?
sidewalk and level it out the sidewalk as well.
There you
Yeah.
go.
So I also got a brand new driveway. The end of the driveway was redone.
There you
all
go,
over the
yeah.
town.
Nice.
Yeah. Took time, but yeah, they got
You got
that.
what you wanted.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Good old town of Brookhaven.
Good old town of Brookhaven.
Bleep it out. We don't want to talk shit about Suffolk County.
We love town of Brookhaven.
We won't tell you
They're
which
the
one.
best.
We love Suffolk County.
We love you guys. You guys are so fast at everything you do.
Patron is in Brookhaven, so we love you.
That's so funny.
Great. Good job at permits too. You guys do job. Good job.
Yeah, we're supposed to move in here in like March. It took, what did we get here? October? Right?
Wow. 6 months.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but, you know.
Shit happens.
Yeah.
It did take a while.
Yeah. I'm sure Sal has thoughts on it, but.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, we'll be in there in July.
Yeah, when I talked to him in December, January, he's like, yo, March, we're going to be here 100%.
Yeah.
And it took forever, but we're finally in.
Hey, you're in. This is a nice place. You guys
Thank
did
you.
very well, and I love the location.
It's a good location.
It's awesome. Right on Main Street.
Shit.
There's like 6 restaurants, like within 30 seconds.
And parking
There's way
isn't as
more
bad
than
as you
that.
think.
No,
Because you park in the back, it's great.
Depends
Yeah.
upon the time of day.
Oh, yeah, if
during
you're trying to
dinner
come here at
time,
night, yeah,
you know,
no,
forget
it's a
about
different
it.
thing.
Yeah,
Definitely
after
could use
6
a parking garage or something down here.
Yeah.
After 6 o'clock, you're shot.
Yeah,
Forget it.
Yeah.
But
park your car in
during
the
the
morning
day-
and just leave it.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's the way to go.
Exactly. That's super funny.
Yeah.
So what have you not done yet that you would like to do in your career?
Yeah, so on top of being an agent and an investor, I'm also a home inspector. So I wear a lot of different hats. But one of the things as an investor...
What's the name of your home inspector?
So I actually work under my buddy Mike Posada at Neighborhood Home Inspections.
There you go. Yeah.
We're a tag team. We usually both of us are on site, get the report out within 24 hours. You know, It's awesome having 2 people on site.
Yeah.
Agents love being in and out. Like, they got appointments too. They're busy. They don't want to be sitting at an appointment 2 to 3 hours while you're sitting there doing your thing. Bring
You
2
would know.
people, you're in and out. Exactly. I
You
know
do
from
both sides,
experience.
yeah.
And that's another thing too, is being a home inspector is I know how not to kill deals. I know how to explain things to customers where, hey, everything is fixable. Everything has a budget.
Yeah.
It's all about the negotiation.
Right.
It's all about how much the house means to you. There's no passing or failing. It's literally, hey, this is what's going on with the house. Do you want to fix these issues? Great, then move forward. Do you not want to fix these issues? Are they too big of issues for you to tackle? That's fine too. Then move on to the next house.
What's the biggest issue you've seen in a house where you're like, oh wow?
I've seen a tree grow through the foundation.
Oh wow.
The foundation was literally bowing out, and
Oh
the
my God.
tree root was coming through it.
Damn.
And then what sucks is that the tree was located on the neighbor's property.
Oh my
So it's not
God.
like you could just come in and buy the
just take it
house
out,
and
yeah.
take the tree out and fix the problem. You have to then worry about the neighbor giving you permission to take the tree out. And that was a huge tree, like towering over both houses.
Yeah.
Like, we're not talking about a little tree.
A big tree.
Yeah, so we're probably talking a few
If it
$1,000.
grew through the foundation,
And
it
when,
must
when
have
did
been
it
a
happen?
massive tree.
The neighbor allowed it? To get
No,
taken
the
out?
person did not buy the house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they decided that was not an issue that they wanted to tackle. But again, that's not a failing inspection.
Right.
That's just us coming in and telling
Right.
you what's
You're
going on. with the
assessing
house.
what's going on.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
all our job is, hey, these are the issues. This is how you fix them or who you should contact to fix them.
Yeah, it's
Do
all
you
about
wanna take care
disclosures
of it?
and transparency.
Exactly. So a lot of people ask, did my house pass or did my house fail? There is no passing or failing. I don't really believe in a pass or fail system for home inspections.
No, yeah, I agree with you.
So, but
Every
to-
issue has a solution.
Yeah.
It's whether or not you are the person that wants to come in and deal with that solution.
Exactly.
Because there's somebody behind you
that will.
that will.
That will.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
always a buyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always a buyer for everything.
100%.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's some buyers that specifically want that house with the issues.
I do.
Yeah,
Hello?
exactly.
That's equity
Yeah.
to me.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, I'm looking at that as like, yeah, it's a headache. It's gonna take a little bit to fix. It's probably gonna cost a lot of money to fix. But at the
It's a
end of
bargaining
the
chip,
day,
and it's
bargaining chip, and it's also future equity in my pocket.
yeah,
So and I could turn that equity into anything, more rentals, whatever I want to do with it.
exactly.
So I want the crappy houses. I want, if you have shit wrong with the house, violations, tax liens, I don't care about anything. I'll figure it out.
Call him.
You know. Yeah, call me.
We'll
I'll
put his
figure-
number under the video.
We'll figure it out.
Instagram handle right there.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
We'll, whatever issue, we'll figure it out together. You know, that's what I'm here for. And what's good about being an agent too is that if there's some issues that can't be necessarily worked out, or we can't come to an agreement on price, we'll just list it for you and get you market value.
Yeah,
I can be your buyer, and once I can't be your buyer, then I can be the guy that puts it on the market for you.
Right.
I can help you out. And because I'm a home inspector, we could walk around the house saying, all right, let's take care of these few things and then put the house on the market.
that's true. You can
Yeah.
just anecdotally offer that insight before even
Yeah.
getting to the point where you need to order an inspection. You can literally go with your clients and say, well, this is going to be an issue. This is going to be an issue. You might want to pay attention to this.
Exactly.
Like, that's actually really
And a lot of people
valuable.
are like that, where they're like, I want to sell it, but I want to get the roof done first and fix this XYZ up. They
Yeah.
don't know what to do. They're just guessing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
exactly. And I have to shamelessly plug my broker here because it's something I learned recently. So with Compass, you can take out a loan to do home repairs and pay it back at closing interest free. So if you have
Beautiful.
some major repairs and you don't have the money to fix it, you can work with us. We can get you the money to fix it, and then we can list your house, and then you can pay off that loan with your proceeds at closing, which is
That's beautiful.
fantastic.
Yeah, a lot of people need that.
Yeah,
There you go.
especially nowadays with inflation,
Yeah.
people can't necessarily pay to fix things, and at that point they're going to suffer and they're going to take a huge hit on the listing price because of the major issue. Why lose out on the equity?
Right.
We'll give you the money,
Keep it
fix
moving.
the issue, keep the equity in your pocket, just pay back the loan at the closing table.
Yeah.
Why the hell not?
It's like cleaning your car before you go to sell it.
Right.
Exactly.
Probably going to get more for it.
Exactly.
Just because you invested the
Or
10,
if there's
15,
one
$20
thing wrong
to
with
clean
it, just fix it.
Yeah.
And then sell it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
Make a huge difference.
Another
Exactly.
thing that I've been learning from sellers too is even during like open houses, they like to have an agent that's also a home inspector because the buyers might come by and like, oh, look at that, like that's a wet mark on the ceiling, like they have a leak somewhere,
Right.
and I could easily be like, oh no, like that's an old leak, like it's not actively leaking anymore, and like
Yeah.
And
I
they trust you.
exactly.
You know
I
what
can
you're
give you
talking
my opinion and it means something. I'm licensed, like
Right.
I'm there. Or hey, can you come check out the boiler? Can you tell me how old this is? Like, I'm there. I can do it. And you know what? Instead of killing time, where buyers have to go home, call their agent, be
Right.
like, oh, can you find this out for me? No, I'm already on the spot. You
Yeah.
want to know something? Great. Here it is. Now you can go home, talk about the house, and make an offer. You
Right.
skip 2 or 3 rounds of negotiations back and forth, time being killed and wasted by everybody. It speeds up the process for everybody involved.
Yeah, that's great.
It's super great.
Great for the buyers. Contact them if you're looking to buy.
There you go. So let me ask a quick question. What would you, if you could go back and give your future self, how long have you been a real estate agent?
I've had my license since 2017. I started at part-time for a few years. I went full-time in 2021.
So if you could go back and give your 2017 self advice, what would you tell yourself?
Talk to people and let people know what you do. Don't be the I guess the turtle real estate agent that no one knows what you do, no one knows that
No
you're
one knows
involved
your
in
real estate.
Yeah, no one knows anything, because how can they contact you if they don't
Right.
know you? They don't know what you're
So you
involved
need
with.
social media, friends, networking.
Yeah, for
That's
me,
great advice. Tell everybody initially, don't wait to overhear a conversation where they're
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about real estate and
Or-
pop your head out like a turtle and be like, well, actually, I'm a real estate agent.
Yeah.
You want that in people's heads first.
Yeah, that or I just flat out just wouldn't even mention it to people, like because I wasn't confident in myself or my abilities at first or something. Like I just wouldn't even interject. I wouldn't even say, "Hey, I'm a real estate agent, guys. Like, can I help you out?" No, I just didn't have that confidence. But now, like nowadays,
Bob
like,
Vance Refrigeration.
nowadays, like it's so important. Since like, how am I gonna get business? How am I gonna meet people? How am I gonna network if I'm not telling people what I do?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so that I definitely would go back and tell myself.
Just be more aggressive. Just go out there.
Exactly.
Get it done.
100%.
That's super solid advice. Yeah, it's you have to get yourself out there, and people need to know what you're doing. You know, because how are they going to know who to call?
It's so foreign to
How are they gonna know who to
buyers.
call?
They're
Yeah.
like thinking about buying. They don't know what the heck they're talking about.
Yeah.
They have no idea where to start.
No.
It's something you do like 2, maybe 3 times in your life as the average individual.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Most people don't buy multiple houses throughout their
Right.
life. They 1 or 2 situations where they are involved in a real estate transaction. So
It's funny you say that. I actually have a goal. I want to go through like most of the major lending programs. So I've done a 2 or 3. I want to do
2 or 3K?
I want to do a 2 or 3K. That's
I haven't
it.
done one yet.
No, I haven't done that.
as like for yourself,
Yeah, for
or you want
myself.
to represent somebody.
Either way,
Yeah.
either way, I think that's
Go
what.
through the process, learn it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I would definitely want to do it for myself to learn that process. But I've done the.
VA, have you done?
I've done no. I wish I could do a VA. Not in that position. I would love to do one of those rural loans where you could buy up the
USDA.
Yeah, the
USDA.
USDA
Yeah.
loans. I would like to do one of those eventually. But I've done conventional and I've done FHA so far. Those are the 2 easiest products out there.
Right.
I want to
Yeah.
take it up a notch and want to
Jumbo?
Yeah, I would get into a jumbo. Like I
Yeah,
want to
get
knock
this guy
out.
So 203K
something.
I'm familiar with, but I definitely want to get into the realm of trying to do the USDA loans.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's a really interesting opportunity for people, especially since it's the only one that regular people can get for with 0% down.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yep.
You're not a veteran.
It's got to be, what, 30
Yeah.
acres, I think? 30, 35, 40?
There's a bunch of requirements.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's got to
I'm
be
not
in a
familiar.
specific type of area. It's got to be a specific type of
Right.
property. Yeah.
There's also another thing. I'm long term. I don't really know too much about it, but it's called opportunity zones, where the government. I think the government kind of helps you fund some of this stuff, but like let's say it's almost like a Baltimore where you have a really bad rundown city, and they're calling that an opportunity zone. If you're willing to come in and buy up properties and invest and like fix it up, the government's willing to back you with financing or something similar. I think that's how that works.
There's lots of areas. Actually, you're totally right. There's lots of areas where, you know, there hasn't been investment in so many years.
Yeah.
So the properties are starting to get dilapidated, break down, things like that. So
Right.
the government has actually come in and said, we'll give you X amount of dollars, or we'll give you X tax benefit,
Exactly.
or we'll allow you to do X, Y, Z if you come in and you improve our area by purchasing a property and
Yeah.
starting a business here,
Or Section 8 housing. too.
Yeah, exactly.
Purchasing a block of properties, stuff like
Exactly.
that. So yeah, the long term, I have a lot of interest in doing something like that.
Yeah, that's
Would
awesome.
Love that.
That's interesting. I was talking to somebody recently, and what they did was they purchased a large property and they sectioned off all the rooms and made it like I guess
A
it would be
rehab
like a
home?
battered women's shelter.
Yeah.
You
We're
know,
thinking on the
where
same lines.
they, significantly discounted rent.
Yes.
But you got a really small room, or you were sharing a room with somebody else who was
Yes.
also in a similar situation.
Yep.
And the local government gives him a tax benefit for doing so,
Right.
Because he's serving
The community.
The community.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So I have plenty of like long-term plans and goals to get involved with stuff like that, for
Yeah.
sure. I had recently on one of my listings, I actually had a guy come and check out the house, and he was doing I think it was like for alcoholics, that are recovering.
Yeah.
Like a recovery home.
A sober house.
Like a sober home, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And he's like, yeah, I just purchased a couple homes, and like what I do is I break them down and I make like the rooms into multiple unit rooms or whatever for multiple people. And he talked about how he gets, rent and tax breaks from the county and the state and all that kind of stuff for doing so. So I think that's an interesting concept as well, for sure.
No, absolutely. I'm super familiar with that concept. I have a couple of friends who actually live in sober homes.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a need. There's a need for all of that kind of stuff in the
Oh,
community.
100%. 100%.
People need to get back on their feet. They need the support. They need somewhere to turn.
Right.
Yeah.
And
personally, I feel it's always better when it's done privately.
Yes.
Where somebody comes in and they say, look, I want to serve the community. I want to offer X, Y, and Z for people to be able to get back on their feet. But in order to incentivize that, government has to come in and be like, well, we'll give you this tax benefit or this tax break just to like spur investment or spur interest in the opportunities that already exist.
Yeah.
People don't want to take on the liability if there's no incentive, because it is a major liability.
On that thought, though, I also agree that it should be privatized because you have more incentive at that point, and like your heart's more in it. You're not just a giant organization just collecting money. You don't know who people are.
Exactly. It's not red
No
tape
human
to
connection.
you. It's very, very important. It's very real. It's very personal.
That human connection, especially for people that might be beaten down right now in life,
they need something.
They need that.
Yeah.
They don't just need to be another number to a government agent, who don't care about them at all.
More government forms, more
more red
process.
tape. More bullshit, not needed. So I agree with it being private, 100%. I listen to a lot of Joe Rogan, and he's talked about it multiple times. Where out in California, the people in charge of fixing the homeless issues, they're making $250,000 a year, and their homeless issue is growing every year.
Yeah.
There's no incentive for those government agencies to fix the problem. It's just more money to line their pockets. So that's where it doesn't make sense to bring the government. Let it be done privately and just give the tax breaks to the guys that are investing and running it.
Yeah. Let them prove that they can do what they're saying they want to do.
100%.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's more about regulating the people that are doing it as opposed to the government taking on the responsibility themselves.
I 100% agree. I think less government involvement is for the better.
Yeah, in this particular situation.
Yeah. In a lot of scenarios, but in this specific scenario, 100%.
Yeah. Don't want private companies running the military.
No.
We already see the issues going on with that.
Yeah, exactly.
What other states are you looking at? Are you gonna stay in New York? Are you gonna move to Florida, North Carolina?
So I think I'll always live in New York. I have family up in New Hampshire and I have family up in Maine that I go visit once or twice a year, and I love it up there. It's absolutely fantastic. But I also have family down here.
Right.
It's beautiful up there.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And I've said, hey, I'm going to move up here a couple times in life. And
Just haven't done it.
I can't pull the trigger. I can't leave.
Too much going on.
Yeah. I'm a traveler. I've been California. I've been to Washington, Texas. I've been all over the country. I loved every place I've gone to. I would move to Texas. But again,
New York is the best.
New York, I just can't leave the island. It's something about here. My family, my friends are here. I just don't want to start
speed
again.
of it. Everything's like at a certain speed. That's good.
Yeah.
Out of state, everything's kind of slower and.
So I like that though. I like how friendly people are outside of New York. I can tell you, I went to Houston a couple years ago, me and my buddy, and we went to a bar. They had a whole bunch of outdoor games. And by the end of the night, it was me and my buddy. We met 4 people. We were going to dinner and drinking, and like that wouldn't happen here in New York. You know, down here in Main Street in Patrick, you're at the bar, you bump into someone. The next thing you know, you're fighting out in the street. Like this shit doesn't happen elsewhere besides New York.
New York, chip on your shoulder.
Exactly. So like,
that's funny.
I like that everybody's laid back and they're nice outside of New York. I just don't think I could live there full time.
Yeah.
But I would invest. I'm all about investing outside of New York, 100%. Milwaukee, Cleveland. You know, I'm all for getting outside of New York and getting into some more friendlier landlord states.
Right.
But I don't think I'll ever leave myself here.
I don't think I could lose the convenience of New York. You go to other places, and especially if it's a quieter or more rural town, or there's less towns in that area.
Yeah.
You know, everything closes at like 8, 9 o'clock.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm just, me being from New York, everything's open 24 hours a day. I'm just not used to it. So it'll be like 9:30. I'll be like, you know, we're on vacation. Let's go get let's go get something to eat. And as we
That's
look
like,
it up,
oh.
everywhere's closed.
Gas station,
Yeah.
only a gas station with
gas station is the only place that's open.
prepackaged food.
Yeah,
It's-
you're getting a ham and cheese sandwich from
Even
from
the
Bola Market.
fast
yeah.
food is shut off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 10 o'clock done.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like,
yeah,
I'll tell you,
Popeyes closes at 10. Yeah.
A
Like,
few
what?
months ago, I was up in Maine visiting family, and I had to go get diapers, and so I had to drive like 3 or 4 miles to go to a dollar store. Because like up there in like these rural areas,
Dollar
it's
stores
dollar
everywhere.
stores. It's not Stop and Shops and Walmarts and stuff like that. It's Dollar Generals and Dollar Trees that are the grocery stores for them up there. It's very
Yeah.
different.
They
up
have so
there.
many locations all over. It's
Yeah,
insane.
It's you know what though? Diapers were cheaper there.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Diapers
you
were
go.
much cheaper there.
Well, what kind of
There you
diapers
go.
were they?
Was it a different
Huggies.
brand?
No,
Really?
Huggies.
Oh,
Really?
that's great.
Huggies.
There
Oh,
you
wow.
go.
Yeah. So
How much are eggs up there?
a few months ago they were probably like $4, $5.
Okay.
Pretty similar to here.
Let's make a trip to get some eggs. Over
Yeah.
there, right?
That's funny.
Why are you worried about eggs?
Because the prices have gone up.
They're eating-
A carton of eggs is like $8.
Yeah.
Haven't you seen the memes, man?
I was in the store yesterday, like $9 for a carton of 18 eggs. I couldn't believe it.
Insane.
So
Yeah.
usually like the brown eggs cost more than the white eggs.
Yeah.
Right. Like
They're organic, right?
Right, like organic or something. I don't even know.
That's
I
got
just
nothing-
buy the cheapest
Pretty sure that
egg.
has nothing to do with it. Yeah.
But I'll tell you, 2 weeks ago I went to a store and like the brown organic eggs were like $4 cheaper
Really?
than like the regular non-organic. I'm like, wait, am I reading this right? Like this is not ever the case, but still super expensive. Things are just not operating correctly.
No, definitely not.
Things got to balance themselves out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're in a really shaky era right now.
Everything's really strange. Yeah. It's funny you mentioned Joe Rogan, and I was listening to one of Joe Rogan's podcasts the other day, and they were talking about how supply chains are about to go through like a major overhaul, just naturally, because like we can't continue operating on this like, oh well, this fruit is picked in China and then it's sent to to Mexico and it's packaged in Mexico and then it's redistributed all over the world. Like
Right.
it's just not. It doesn't make sense. It's not sustainable.
Right.
You know. So they were talking about how things are going to kind of go back to like a more local,
Yeah. Well,
like
That's the way it should be.
yeah. Exactly.
the one positive, well, there's probably many positives about COVID, but one of them is that I think America finally realized like they need to bring manufacturing back to America.
To America,
It's
yeah.
super important.
The mask thing at the beginning, where like nobody could get masks because they're all
Oh, yeah,
they're
the
all
very beginning,
manufactured
yeah.
in
You
one
couldn't get-
area.
You
Yeah.
said the PPE, the
go-
prescription drugs.
Can't
like,
even go into a store because you don't have a mask and it's sold out everywhere.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Right, it's
exactly.
crazy. Like we definitely need to bring things back here, and we need to take care of our own people.
The structure
our
of the whole,
communities.
everything has to change.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
look at the communities of like the automakers that left, like Detroit. They
Yeah.
haven't recovered. Think
No.
about bringing some of that stuff back. It will. Yeah, it's gonna take a long time to build those communities back, but like it's a step in the right direction. It's helpful to
Yeah.
people to have jobs again.
No, absolutely.
So
Absolutely. The question of there arises is how do you incentivize it? Because the incentive currently is to drive the business overseas because the
Cheaper.
labor is cheaper. Yeah, because your biggest cost always is going to be labor.
yeah,
You know, so
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Benefits, union dues, all that shit.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The profit motive
goes smaller and smaller.
changes
yeah,
everything.
for sure. For sure.
You
Well, we
know.
got to figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
We got to figure
exactly.
it out. We're the
It's-
wealthiest nation in the world. We should be paying our people and
It's really cool that
Take
you're
care
seeing a
of people.
shift from
Yes.
people not caring about or people being disconnected from what's going on
yeah,
in the supply chains that
Yes.
facilitate things like our phones or our electric cars and not knowing what's going on and you see like a shift going on now where people are becoming more aware. They're saying, you know, we should really change this process.
Yeah.
It's kind of broken, you know, and that's really cool to be living, you know, during a time
I
like
think
that.
it's a shift in many different areas. I think politics too. I think even during COVID, people are realizing like we need to pay attention to the local people.
yeah.
Who the
that's a
hell are we
fact.
getting here, like in
Yeah.
Patchogue or Suffolk County? Like, yeah, we're voting for the president and we're voting for Congress and all that stuff, but we're not noticing day-to-day things with them. It's the local people who are changing your day-to-day.
Small things, the small details.
Exactly.
You see this guy who recently just got voted in, and apparently his entire resume was just a complete lie. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about
like,
it until
his-
after.
Everything
Yeah.
from his educational background to like his religion is just not like,
Changed his
it's just
last
a
name, too,
complete
or
lie.
something.
Yeah,
Supposedly,
exactly.
like every time he applied for an apartment or something, he used a different last name.
Crazy.
I have a friend that was friends with him in high school. She posted some screenshots recently. he did some shady stuff even back then. And she's
What
like,
town is
yeah.
she from?
Let's not even talk about it.
I think she's from Hop
The Jackmans are
somewhere out
coming.
there. Yeah. So his whole life has been the same. So we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Fraud's
Yeah,
there.
that's kind of.
We don't support fraud at all.
We do
Nah,
not support
no,
that
thank
at
you.
all.
Not about it.
Any type.
No thanks.
Don't lie. Don't cheat. Don't steal.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Eddie Guerrero.
There you go. That's so funny.
Had to get that in there.
I like it.
This has been my first time ever shooting a podcast before.
Really?
Didn't know what to expect.
I'm
You're a
surprised,
natural, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're really good at this.
I think you told me that in the past. Like anytime you shot content, like there's something
You
different
were
that
always
just switches.
You were always a natural.
It
You
just
were always
something
a
inside
natural.
me. It just switches. Outside of this, I'll fumble my words.
You're a quiet person. You're a quiet person normally.
Yes.
You know.
You gotta get him in for some educational shit or something.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm all for it. Anything that anybody needs, whether it's home inspections, it's real estate investing, it's you need to buy an agent to buy or sell. Like any education, any questions, I'm your guy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, again, Matthew Aletta, working for Compass, and
neighborhood
representing
home
the
inspections.
Vanderbilt team over there.
Yeah.
You also work with your partner Mike Posada.
Yep, at neighborhood home inspections.
Yeah, and he's the main guy over at the neighborhood home
Yes,
inspection.
yep, he
Yeah.
is the main go-to for the home inspections.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. All right, well, it was great to have you, man. You know.
Absolutely, I would love to be here again.
Let's fucking
You'll
go.
definitely be back. You'll definitely be back. Yeah. Thanks, man. Thank you, everybody, for coming. We'll see you soon.